You're watching CW Montana. This is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Ahead tonight, some bizarre twists in a Missoula murder trial. While the defense is arguing the two victims were not killed, but instead vanished. Plus, Governor Bullock was busy and he is signing some bills, but there are some that he is not signing. We'll tell you which ones made it and which ones didn't ahead. But first, results are coming in for school district elections across our state. And we begin in Billings tonight as voters have passed the first high school operational levy in 12 years. In Billings, the $971,000 high school mill levy appearing to pass by about 10%. The levy will fund classroom materials and career readiness in School District 2 high schools. For full coverage, you can tune into KTVQ tonight at 10 o'clock. Helena voters are passing a proposed increase in the district's elementary school levy. The levy will collect an additional $103,000 a year. It will raise taxes just under $3 a year on a $200,000 valued home. The levy vote comes as district leaders raise concern their budget could soon become unsustainable. For full coverage on that levy, tune into KTVH at 10 o'clock tonight. Well, Stevensville voters approved a pair of bond issues. School district leaders say it will be a major step forward in fixing facilities, some of which date back 60 years. There's a $6.3 million elementary school bond and $14.1 million high school bond. The proposals were pared down after the district did extensive surveys following narrow rejection of a larger bond package a year ago. And for full coverage on those, tune into KPAX at 10 o'clock in the Missoula area. Finally, ballots are still being counted for the Bozeman School Board elections, and of course we'll let you know what those results are tonight at 10 on KBZK. Well, it was the first day of the Caressa Hardy trial as the defense team argued the two victims aren't actually dead. They've just run away. Attorneys say one victim was trying to flee the country for tax evasion, the other tagging along to skip out on unpaid child support. Well, the state says they have evidence they believe will lead to Hardy's conviction. The only witness, the alleged murders, describing today in court what she saw at the murder scene.
You remember saying anything to him at this time, to the defendant?
Yeah, I remember saying, are they dead? Did he kill them?
You were saying this out loud?
Yeah.
Did the defendant say anything to you?
I can't remember. I just told him, please don't kill me. Please don't hurt or kill the babies, the children.
Well, the trial will continue over the next several weeks, is what we're told. Recent vandalism at the Blacktail Wildlife Management Area that's southeast of Dillon could cost thousands to repair. So take a look at these pictures. You can see that a vehicle gate has been pushed in. The main gate there broke. Even the lockbox broke. Entrance signs were also damaged, and altogether the repairs could cost $1,500. FWP says any help from the public could go a long way to find the culprit.
These are public resources and public lands. These are the heritage of people who live and recreate here in Montana, so it affects all of us when something like this happens.
And Montana Governor Steve Bullock has been busy signing 26 bills into law. MTN's Mike Dennison was there, tells us about some of the more highly publicized measures.
Signing 26 bills in less than an hour is almost like an assembly line, but that didn't detract from the satisfaction and fun for bill sponsors and supporters who packed the governor's conference room to be part of the ceremony. Among the bills signed Tuesday are a pair sponsored by State Representative Shane Morgeau of Missoula and others to help victims of child sexual abuse seek justice against their abusers or prevent it from happening in the first place. House Bill 640 increases the amount of time after the crime that victims of child sex molestation can sue their abusers for damages. And House Bill 173 essentially makes it illegal for teachers to have sexual relations with any student in 12th grade or lower. Supporters of both bills came to the ceremony on Tuesday. Bullock also signed a bill extending income tax credits for the cost of film production in Montana. It was joined by many members of the filmmaking community. And he signed the bill that increases funding for state parks by increasing the vehicle registration fee for parks from $6 to $9, a bill sponsored by Senator Terry Gauthier of Helena. The bill signing ceremonies for the governor are far from over. He's planning another big one on Thursday for healthcare-related bills, including the bill continuing Montana's $700 million a year Medicaid expansion program. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The governor also signed an additional 48 bills into law today, and then he vetoed a few of those as well. Well, members of the Montana Sexual Assault Initiative Task Force say efforts to ensure all rape kits get tested in our state will continue with the passing of a legislative measure. Senate Bill 52 passed with flying colors this year at the Montana legislature, securing funding, tracking, and continued work for victims. The task force was started in 2015, and it does meet regularly.
That's part of the whole, what we're doing right now is how do we make sure that when somebody has gone through that entire process, that law enforcement, that prosecutors, that victim advocates, that we do everything that we can and leave no stone unturned on those sex assault kits. If it can be evidence of a crime that was committed and used in the prosecution, bring an offender to justice and bring some closure to survivors of sex assault, that's really the whole point of this project.
Well, the state started with more than 1,200 untested evidence kits from more than 40 jurisdictions. Today, 821 cases are still pending. Well, Saturday's 301 strong benefit for an injured Montana Highway Patrol trooper, Wade Palmer, exceeded expectations. Law enforcement from across Montana joined together to help in the benefit. So far, the total raised already exceeds $100,000. More than 900 people attended that event to watch even a special message from Palmer's wife, Lindsay.
To the Blue community at home, in Utah, throughout the country, and abroad, thank you for being so encouraging, supportive, and overwhelmingly generous. I have always been and will always be proud to be an LEO wife. Please continue to keep us in your thoughts and prayers.
And Palmer continues to recover at a University of Utah hospital. He was shot 3 times in the neck, the head, and the face. All of that in mid-March. An update tonight on the $12 million demolition and remodel of the Alberta Bear Theatre in Billings. New curtain wall systems will be installed. Crews will also extend the building by 15 feet. New seating is also going to be installed, along with updated acoustics. 3 months of demolition remains before the remodel will start.
It's nice just to see a project go from start to finish and see an older facility like this and at the completion of the project have a more functional space that's good for many years to come.
Okay, we can't wait to see the finished product. They say that the remodel is expected to be complete by September of 2020. A Helena service dog has finally met his veteran. The dog, trained by students at Carroll College, graduated a working service dog pretty recently. MTN's Melissa Jensen has the story.
Yeah. Fernando Terrones is a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan and now owner to Major, his service dog.
Right now I'm just overwhelmed because there's a lot of information, and Major is not only a puppy, but he has all these special skills that I gotta catch up with and learn as well, and hopefully he likes me too.
Seeing Fernando's smile the first time you saw Major, I was about to lose it then. I was just like, but like it's happy tears.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, I mean, it's gonna be difficult to say goodbye, but I think knowing for us is that he's gonna go make a difference.
Yeah.
How could you not say goodbye because of that?
Major has been trained since last fall by Carroll College Anthrozoology Program students Allie Hance and Maddie Sanford. They joined forces with the Montana-based Veterans Service Dog Organization, Dog Tag Buddies, and the Veterans Treatment Court in Cascade County to make this day possible.
The Veterans Treatment Court helps justice-involved veterans address the issues that brought them into the justice system in the first place. Many of them suffering from the invisible wounds of war, like PTSD and traumatic brain injuries.
It's been very uplifting. I've just been getting beat up in life from my service in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I'd regress and just really neglect myself.
Maddie and Allie have worked with Major to teach him skills that will help Fernando.
This is the checkout counter. You're going up. You can have him block. I think a service dog is going to help so much.
This introduction isn't the end for anyone involved with uniting this service dog with his veteran.
We keep track of all of the veterans who graduate from the program, and so including Fernando, will kind of monitor how things are going with him, and I know that the Dog Tag Buddies is going to provide ongoing support for him as he continues to train Major.
Knowing that we're going to go off into our future careers and seeing Major go off to his future career.
That's so cute.
I know, I love it. Like, we're both graduating
oh
at
my
the
gosh,
same time.
it's awesome.
The future is on Fernando's mind as well.
We're all human, we make mistakes, and I think a big important thing in life is how you react to how you ended up somewhere, especially if it's a negative situation, how you deal with it and move forward.
In Great Falls, Melissa Jensen, MTN News.
Oh, that face, so cute. Fernando and Major will begin now their regular training sessions with Dog Tag Buddies, and Allie and Maddie, they graduate this weekend from Carroll College. Still to come on tonight's MTN 9 o'clock news, keeping the kids in Butte. Coming up, we're taking a look at the mining city's plan to keep young people adding to the local economy. And Bob McGuire says blue skies are on the way for much of Montana. Good news there. He'll explain after the break.